Hi everyone and welcome to the All Things ITSM Global Podcast, coming to you from BMC Engage in Las Vegas. I'm Kirsty McGowan, I'm here with Charlie Betts.
Kirsty.
Carlos Casanova.
Hello, Kirsty.
And we have the great pleasure of chatting today with Matt Laurenceau from BMC, who's the community specialist at BMC. I've known you for a long time online. It's been a great pleasure to actually meet you in person.
This is like a big reunion after years of not actually seeing each other.
Where's the selfie? Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's always fun to somebody who you feel you know, and you realize, well, no, we actually never have met face to face, but boy, your face is sure familiar. So Matt, welcome, and it's so good to finally meet you in person. As we have listened throughout the day to the various messages and the discussion of digital transformation and the increasing speed with which we are seeing IT services permeate the landscape and add value across our daily existence. A big topic there is culture and collaboration. You're the community manager for BMC. Could you tell us a little bit, I'd love to hear kind of a day in the life, and then, what can you tell us about building successful digital communities?
Sure. So definitely it's about helping people, showing customers, partners, that we care about them, that we want them to succeed. If they succeed, we succeed, win-win, we're good. So we need to find out to understand their pains and make sure it is fixed, either by other community members or sometimes by BMC subject matter experts. So in order to do that, we either let things go, customers asking questions, sharing their own tips, or we seed things. So we have programs within BMC so that various teams within engineering, within support, sometimes product management or marketing, seed with compelling content so that it enables the users around the world, and they have this all year long Engage event, because BMC Communities is the online presence of BMC Engage. Right. BMC Engage is 4 days, BMC Communities is 24/7.
All right, so BMC Engage goes all year is what you're saying. Yeah. Oh, great.
So how do you work that? Because obviously there's a tremendous amount of information that you're gathering, some of it relevant to the direction of the organization. So how do you mash that all together, figure out what the common storylines are, and I'm sure some of that gets fed back into the product lines to what people really want. So how do you do that? Because I can imagine the volume that's coming at you. There's a lot of noise in there. People just upset for one reason or another. Yeah. Versus hey, there's some real good stuff in here. How do you work through that? What I would call noise.
You bet. So it's definitely a big data world where we collect and understand a lot of information, and then we take decisions about them. We actually purposely have a process for customers to submit ideas. Like, I'm not happy with the product the way it is. I'd like this feature to change, or I'd like this new feature. So we let them post this idea in public. Other customers vote on it. Okay. Most vote up, but some may vote down, and explain why, and comment why they vote down. And after some point, R&D actually has an SLA on that. R&D, product management actually, not engineering, but product management comes back and say, I'm interested. Or it doesn't go exactly the direction the product is going, please share more. And then they tell, okay, it's on roadmap. It's something we don't want to go through. Or it's actually something we have in the product, you're not aware of it. Or it's we have in our ecosystem because this partner does it. So at the end of the day, we have customers feeling good because we care about what they think that we should do, and we include that in the next releases. So at one point, when we release a product, we tell that all these ideas have been implemented, and the customers are part of the new release.
Now, do you actually, I'd be curious, a new idea comes out, Charlie comes out with a new idea, it gets voted up, down, and your product management, product roadmap decides to accept it. Do you go back to those individuals that kind of brought in and directly inform them, hey, you know what, hey, this is it. So I would think as someone that's submitted an idea of, hey, can we do this capability, to find out 6 months later on the next release, because like we're all cynical, right? It's like, oh, I want this thing fixed, but to find out 6 months later, hey, wow, it's coming
Yeah.
out.
They actually listen to me.
Yeah, they actually listen.
Yeah.
That would give me so much more confidence, I would think, in a product and in an organization that was that proactive. I would consider that proactive,
Yeah.
rather than, hey, we've got our product roadmap, we'll see you in 5 years. So do you do that? And again, it just seems like there's so much out there. I can't imagine how you're sifting through that whole pile.
The volume is huge, but the way we architected things, is that instead of having 10 customers,
Yeah.
10, okay,
10
customers creating 10 RFEs, and with many duplicates because customers were have the same idea
Yeah,
and they don't,
yeah.
and they were working in a silo. So now it's social, it's public. So one customer creates an ID, 9 others vote on the ID. So we divided by 10. I don't know the exact figure, but we divided by a lot of the number of duplicates that we have to deal with. So then we can have these personal interactions with people, telling to them that, we're good, we're going to include that on the roadmap. And when we do the general availability announcement, we tell, thank you, Carlos, for submitting this idea about whatever, this integration, this feature, this user experience, this.
That's wild.
It's just much more transparent
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
it used to.
Yeah.
It used to be very held very
Very
close
difficult.
to the very close to the chest, and this is I think a great new model for the industry.
And transparency, you're definitely to the point on where we went those past 5 years. It's all about transparency. People may criticize the product. We could, be unhappy and modify the rent. Well, we address it transparently, and we say, okay, we know we're working on it. Okay, we know we failed, and then we create a plan together on improvements. And this transparency is huge. People now have a voice with us, and they love it.
Yeah, no, that's great. So do you get a lot of peer-to-peer support happening there with your customers helping each other solve issues?
Yes, we should do. We kind of gamify
Yep.
it. It works by itself.
Yep.
But then we want to reward the people who are good for the community. So we have these leaderboards where we see the top guys, and it's dynamic and it just works by itself. When I answer a question that you posted, I get points, and when Charles flags my answer as correct, then I get more points. So we have these dynamic leaderboards when we see the top guys for each product.
So you have like a Stack Overflow kind of support. Okay.
Yeah.
So this goes beyond the enhancement program. So this is all the way into that. Excellent.
So do you have any figures on how many calls you actually deflect from your own support
Let's
teams?
talk about that. We have, and I would not give any figure, any financial figure. We have, the past 12 months, I recently looked at that, we have 30,000 new discussions. So each discussion may have 1, 10, 5 replies, but 30,000 new discussions for 12 months. If it solves the issues that one person had, so we just freed us up from 30,000 support cases.
Right.
We estimate that up to 5 customers may benefit from this discussion. So it means 150,000 cases that are avoided thanks to peer support and sometimes BMC employees helping, sometimes from support after some time, or consulting or engineering stuff.
It's pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, terrific.
So I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is, when you're bringing that in and you're taking it off, people just venting. They're going to find a board somewhere, whether it's not the community or somewhere else, to vent about they don't like something. So I can imagine that, if I put it there and Charlie then responds, say, hey, that capability is really there, or even if, like you said, if BMC comes back and says, we recognize that, we're sorry, but that's just not something in the product roadmap. So at least I may not be happy with the answer, but I'm at least content with you replied and said, it's just not there and we're not going to put it there.
I've got a real story here. It was about 2 weeks ago, like quite recently. Somebody in Europe made a post public saying very bad things, like can't you really trust this product? So a lot of people were like really scared. You know, what is happening? What can we do to hide that? And I was, no, let's address that.
Don't hide it.
Let's
It's going
address
to come
that.
out. It's going to be
Yeah.
public.
And this guy happens to be here at Engage. You know, this online world
Right.
definitely connects with the you know, worldwide user conference or meetups in local geos. And he met. So we addressed a lot of things online on BMC communities. A lot of other customers gave their feedback, and we were almost good. Then he met here with many customers.
Right.
He met here with product management. He told me 2 hours ago that he's a huge fan now of this product.
That's great.
What
That's
a
great.
social, that's what a social
That's what
strategy
it's
can
all
do
about.
for you.
Yeah.
And someone like that will probably become one of your biggest advocates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will now be on there, you know, advocating on your behalf and pushing
Yeah.
rather than on another board as a, you know, really, you know, sour, you know, person talking bad about, you know, the product or the company. And, you know, really just because you were transparent and upfront about it.
Yeah.
So,
That's great. Well, Matt, it's been a great pleasure chatting with you, and a really great pleasure to finally meet you in
Finally meet-
person for the first
Yeah,
time after
yeah.
corresponding online over various social networks for several years. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
thank you, Matt.